You don't think I forgot about this one, do you? This is the Citizen BN0217-02E. This is the third time I've actually reviewed this on the channel. I've got somewhat of an obsession with the Promaster Tough. I have always loved and appreciated the fact that Citizen have brought out probably one of the most solid, tough, the name is no coincidence, one of the most solid watches I think ever. And we'll go into the specs and details in just a second, but all I've really got to say about this one is the most striking thing. Let me just give you a close-up. The most striking thing about this one is that the design, it's kind of plain. You've kind of got the applied, they seem to be applied anyway, the applied batons, really, and they've got some loom on top. The loom is really not great. I'll give you a shot of that in a second. We're in daylight, so it's not going to look great, but it doesn't last very long. It's not the best loom ever. So what is it that's so attractive about this watch? Now, this is where the watch really comes into its own. Because, well, where do we start? Let's go through it. It's got a monocoque construction, okay? This is one solid block of stainless steel that's been treated with Citizen's Duratec Coating. So what is Duratec? Duratec is a proprietary product from Citizen, which is layered on top, it's splashed on top. I believe it to be, well, they market it as being 5 times harder than untreated stainless steel. This has the added benefit, because this is on top of the stainless steel, and bear in mind there's no screw down case back. This is a solid block of stainless steel. It feels so tough. It genuinely does feel, and trust me, I've held a lot of watches. This is the toughest watch I've ever held in my hands. It just feels, because it's a solid block of stainless steel, it just feels super rigid and tough. It feels like the name suggests. There's no case back. It's a 2-piece construction. The first piece being this piece you see here, and then the top kind of bezel, which is looks to be a separate piece. So this results in the watch being, well, basically it results in the watch being shock resistant, because that's going to take the impact, going to take the brunt of any shocks. It does have anti-magnetism of 4,800 Gauss, which is actually, if I'm not mistaken, the Rolex Milgauss only has 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. Please quote me, please correct me if I'm wrong, and don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty certain my friend's got a Rolex Milgauss. I'm going to have to ask him to be sure. I think it's got a 1,000 rating there, Milgauss rating, a Gauss rating, whereas this has 4,800. So, it really speaks to the quality of this particular watch. So it's scratch resistant as well, and I can absolutely wholeheartedly guarantee you that this watch really is scratch resistant. I have, on my other Promaster Toughs, I really did beat them about a little bit, and the coating really does seem to do its job. It does have anti-rust properties as well, so you should find that the watch doesn't rust over the years. This is a watch that you purchase and it's going to last you for 10, 20, 30 years or more. We'll come back to that just a bit later. The hypoallergenic properties, it's gentle, soft, on your skin, in terms of it's not going to give you rashes, or you're not going to have an allergic reaction again because of that coating on top. And then this is where we come to the Cordura ballistic fiber, or ballistic strap, ballistic fabric they call it. And essentially this material is used in a lot of military gear. And don't forget, by the way, I don't think Citizen say this, but if the watch was to ever catch on fire, I'm talking more so about definitely the body of this watch, because you've got that super titanium, at least in theory, the watch shouldn't just burn to a crisp. You know, it's not like a plastic. This is a really exceptionally good material, and it's not cheap. Titanium. So the watch isn't titanium. There are some titanium Citizens. It's a whole other debate. We could have a video about that on its own. So I don't want to get too bogged down in that, but it's a high quality case construction. You've also, again, you've got this high quality strap. There are, as you can hopefully see, on the back of the strap, you do have some kind of grip here. The actual strap, if you can see, is sewn into the rubber strap itself. So the fabric is sewn in. So everything's really been thought of with this watch. You've got a screw down crown. You've got 200 meters of water resistance. You've got an anti-reflective sapphire glass. So the glass should not scratch, at least not very easily. It should take quite a lot to scratch this sapphire. So that's really great, you know, really great. The buckle is quite a large buckle, but it really does fit with the watch. I know you're thinking, what else can the watch do? Well, the watch can actually function in extreme temperatures, -10 degrees, right the way through to 60 degrees Celsius. So these are pretty extreme temperatures, and the watch would have no trouble functioning in them. Now, if you were to actually go, 65 degrees Celsius, or you were to go -15 degrees, I'm sure it would still work. But, Citizen and Casio do this. They're quite conservative with their specs. But this is a watch where you could just throw everyday life at this. If you're in a place where it's 60 plus degrees, you're probably more worried about your skin and your body than you are about the watch. But just know the watch can handle it. And for that matter, you guessed it, it's an eco drive. So it's going to soak up the sun and it's going to power the rechargeable lithium battery inside, which give this that power, a shelf life really, of anywhere between 20 and 40 years with the new batteries. So it's really quite impressive. Again, the Super Luminova is on the hands and the markers, the battens all around the face. It's not the best lume in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the watch away from the screen real quick. I'm just going to give it a really quick blast of light. Again, I'm in daylight, so I'm not going to get the best shot for you right now. But hopefully it'll just be some sort of idea as to how the watch is. It's not the best lume in the world, and I don't think it's really trying to be. It's just enough. It'll probably get you through the night. I've just give this a really quick blast, and hopefully that gives you some idea. It's definitely readable, and interestingly enough, the minute hand is in blue, and the rest of the dial, the second hand and the battens and the hour hand, they are all in green. So Citizen have actually gone to the trouble of making two different kind of styles there, two different colorways of lume. Now, this is a discontinued watch, and it's one I've flipped a couple of times now, and I love it. Downsides for me are the date. That's one of the downsides. Now, let me just take off my current watch, which I am due to review, probably going to be next week for you guys. Now, I just want you to contrast the two. If you look at the PMD, which is this one on the left-hand side, and the Promaster Tough is this one on the right, you can see the date window difference. We've got day and date here, but just look at the size of it. It's a real shame to me that Citizen didn't include a day and date on the Promaster Tough, and also a bigger window to boot. Why didn't they just use the one from the PMD and use that in here? I don't know, maybe the E168 solar-powered movement, the Eco Drive, is not capable of driving a date and calendar window all at the same time, a day and date. I don't know. I just don't know. But that is a bit of a shame to me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the watch on now and give you guys a look at it. I've got a 7.25 inch wrist. There's a little bit of strap left to play with if you have really small wrists. I don't think whatever size wrist you've got, I don't think it's gonna make a difference. So there is the watch. I'm gonna just get up off the chair and I'm actually just gonna position my arm here. So hopefully you can kind of get a feel for this one. That's pretty much how it looks. And it's kind of, there's the strap. Actually, I'll show you it from the other side. Some watch reviewers don't show you. That's all around the watch. The keepers pretty much keep this in place. I have had Seikos in the past where this keeper comes off and leaves this flapping about. You don't tend to get that issue. It's quite a firm strap. It's probably a little bit too strong. And that's my second complaint. The strap takes quite a while to break in. But in my experience, it never really fully breaks in. It's just quite a strong strap. But hey, this is the Promaster Tough. This is what it's designed for. It's designed to be a tough, rugged, everyday watch. Something that you can have as an everyday wear, never take off, and it's just going to work. As long as you've got solar power, from the sunlight or artificial light, it's going to work. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I might flip this one again because I think I found love. I found true love and happiness, I think, with the PMD. I think I have. I really think I have. But I don't want to diminish this watch. If somebody told me this is the watch for them and that's what they're going to wear every single day, I would shake their hand and say, fantastic choice, because I love it. I think it's fantastic. With a bigger date window and with a day and date, I think this could well have been my forever watch. I think the small date lets it down, but everything else about it is just superb. This particular model actually hits all the markers really flush as well. I had a previous one of these, go check out my previous review, and it didn't hit the markers flush all the way around, and that really annoys me with a quartz watch. So there we go. Anyway, again, guys, this has been discontinued, so this is extremely hard to find. This is becoming an exceptionally rare watch because people who've got these tend not to sell them. So if you can get hold of one, if you think this is the watch for you, I strongly suggest you purchase right now. If you can pick one of these up for about £300 in the UK or maybe $350 in the US, I think that's about what you're going to pay right now, as of the day this video is released, which is the 30th of June, 2021. You do have some really quite good sized crown guards as well, if you care about that. I wear my watch on my right hand, so the crown guards are they're never going to get damaged on the outside anyway, so it's not such a big issue for me. But overall, if you like this watch, if you think it's the one for you, by all means go for it. I thought I had let me just see if I can get you the measurements. I did have them, but I appear to have misplaced them. Let me take a look. Here we go. No, I haven't. It's a 42mm, by the way. 42mm watch, and I've not got the measurement right now. I think lug is 20mm. I've not got the width of this thing to hand. Yes, I do. It's 10.5mm, so it's pretty dang thin, really. And yes, the bandwidth is 20mm. So one more time: case diameter of 42, case thickness of 10.5. and then a bandwidth of 20mm. Total weight of 408 grams, apparently. It definitely doesn't feel that heavy. And that actually sounds to me like the weight of the Promaster Tough with the stainless steel bracelet. I actually think this is about 99, 100 grams, I think. But either way, you don't feel this on your wrist. The Cordura strap is super light. So I think the 408 grams is if you've got the stainless steel as well. But either way, you just don't really feel it on your wrist. So anyway, I hope this has been a good insight. If this is a watch you're interested in, by all means, definitely go ahead and make the purchase. I highly doubt you'll be disappointed. Is it the one for me? Oh gosh, I really don't want to get rid, but I really want a one watch collection, as we call it, you know, all of us watch enthusiasts. I think a lot of us just want to do away with the madness, just have a one, do it all watch. This was so close to being the one. A bigger date window and a day and date wheel. If it had the exact same one from this movement, there would be no reason to buy anything else. If it had atomic time as well, and that atomic time worked in a multiband 6 configuration, if it worked in the US, UK, Germany, China, Japan, holy heck, that would be something interesting. But sadly, that's wishful thinking. Maybe we can all get in touch with Citizen and beg them to build the Promaster Tough with that configuration. One last thing before I let you guys go. The new Promaster Tough, somebody's reliably informed me on the channel, thank you very much, that all of the new Promaster Toughs, they're actually chronographs. So you will not get these simple three-handers anymore. So if you're in the market for one, buy it now. Now is seriously the best time. Okay, that concludes the review. Stay tuned for next week because I'm going to bring you the PMD by Citizen, and that is going to be hopefully the final review, unless we can get people on Subscribestar and actually start building up the reviews, building up the channel. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.